1 Kings 20. And his servants said to him, Look, now we have heard that the kings of the house of Israel are merciful for kings. Please let us put sackcloth around our waists and ropes around our heads, and go out to the king of Israel. Perhaps he will spare your life. So they wore sackcloth around their waists and put ropes around their heads, and came to the king of Israel and said, Your servant says, Please let me live. And he said, Is he still alive? He is my brother. 1 Kings 21. Thus says Yahweh, Have you murdered and also taken possession? So it was, when Ahab heard these words, that he tore his clothes and put sackcloth on his body and fasted, and he lay in sackcloth and went about mourning. And the word of Yahweh came to Elijah the Tishbite, saying, See how Ahab has humbled himself before me? Because he has humbled himself before me, I will not bring the calamity in his days. 1 Kings 22. And Micaiah said, Therefore hear the word of Yahweh. I saw Yahweh sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing on his right hand and on his left. 2 Kings 1. But the angel of Yahweh said to Elijah the Tishbite, Arise, go up to meet the messengers of the king of Samaria, and say to them, Is it because there is no God in Israel that you are going to inquire of Baal-zebub, the god of Ekron? And the king sent to him a captain of 50 with his 50 men. And the third captain of 50 went up and came and fell on his knees before Elijah and pleaded with him and said to him, Man of God, please let my life and the life of these 50 servants of yours be precious in your sight. Look, fire has come down from heaven and burned up the 2 first captains of 50 with their 50. But now let my life be precious in your sight. And the angel of Yahweh said to Elijah, Go down with him, do not be afraid of him. So he arose and went down with him to the king. 2 Kings 2. And it came to pass, when Yahweh was about to take up Elijah by a whirlwind into heaven, that Elijah went with Elisha from Gilgal. And Elijah took his cloak and rolled it up and struck the water, and it was divided this way, so that the 2 of them crossed over on dry ground. And so it was, when they had crossed over, that Elijah said to Elisha, Ask what I may do for you before I am taken away from you. And Elisha said, Please let a double portion of your spirit be upon me. So he said, You have asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if you see me when I am taken from you, it shall be so for you. But if not, it shall not be so. And it came to pass, as they went on and talked, that suddenly a chariot of fire with horses of fire appeared and separated between the 2 of them. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elisha saw it, and he cried out, My father, the chariot of Israel and its horsemen. So he saw him no more. And he took hold of his own clothes and tore them into 2 pieces. And he took up the cloak of Elijah that had fallen from him, and went back and stood by the bank of the Jordan. And he took the cloak of Elijah that had fallen from him, and struck the water, and said, Where is Yahweh, God of Elijah? Also, when he had struck the water, it was divided this way, and Elisha crossed over.